Hello, welcome to Paul's Take, and this is my take on this magazine car and driver article. Now, this sometimes it feels like the universe is like listening to you, or it's like it knows what you want, and it says, "Here you go. Here's some more information for you." So lately, I've been craving an off-road SUV-ish kind of vehicle. I just bought my Scion TC, which is like a sporty car, only like 6 months ago. And it was like the first sporty car I had in a long time. So it was fun. But recently I had a Jeep Compass and a Jeep Patriot. And I had those cars probably a total, because they're basically pretty much similar. Like they're pretty much the same car. A little different look to them. But they're on the same platform. They had those cars to combine, it was back to back, for probably a total of 5 years. So I was driving Jeeps for about 5 years. And recently I've been kind of craving my old Compass. I really like that Compass. I like the Patriot too. So I was looking at, if you look at my videos, you see I checked out a 2016, 2017 Compass. And that was the last of that first generation. They made some changes, but they did a major upgrade on in the second half of 2017. So I checked that one out as well. And to tell you the truth, I think I kind of like the first generation better. Yeah, I don't know. The one I looked at though was more of a basic version. It wasn't the high end version. Like the older model that I looked at was a high end of that older model. And then the newer one was like a low end. So this probably played a big part of it. So I'm not going to completely dismiss the newer one. But anyways, so I really enjoyed driving those cars. They were like fun cars to me. I don't know why. They were just fun. They were not big. They were decent on gas. You know, I had a Dodge Ram 5.7 liter Hemi. And it was just a gas guzzler. It was just miserable to drive. I didn't want to drive it. It was so bad on gas. But I like the smaller 4-cylinder type SUVs. But they weren't perfect. They were, I would say, the look, I wasn't completely satisfied with either look of the Compass or the Patriot. I don't know, they didn't look like they were designed, didn't have a good feng shui about them. But I like the inside. I like the driving characteristics of them. But also, they're not really reliable vehicles. The motors are great. The transmissions were great. I drove, like one of them I had for like 140,000 miles on it. And the engine purred like a kitten. It felt brand new. The first one was the Compass. I drove that thing for 140,000 miles. And then I traded in for a new Compass. No, a new Patriot. Like I said, same motor, same everything, except different body a little bit. And the old one, I mean, the new one, the old one was just as smooth as the new one, motor-wise. Now, of course, you could feel the suspension was all new and all that for the new one, which is great. The problem I had with the first one, after 140,000 miles, the gas tank went bad, and the rear, I don't know, something with not the rear, the front, I don't know if the bearings or the front, something with the front wheels, not the wheels themselves, but something to do with the axles, the drivetrain was going bad. And between the two, it didn't make sense to get them fixed. I guess if it was cheaper to get fixed, I would have cared, but it was really expensive. I don't remember exactly, but it wasn't worth it. So I traded in for the new one. And I had that for a while, but and I had that for about 50,000 miles, I think I put on that car. And when I got rid of it, I think I was starting to sense the same thing on the front again. It didn't go bad on me per se. I never got it checked out, but I was starting to feel like I was sensing like it was starting to feel like there was something going on there. But anyways, so I'm almost hesitant to get another one because I don't really trust them, even though as fun as they are to drive. And I probably would if I got a good deal. I'm not gonna lie, I probably would get one. But then I went to the Jeep dealership and looked at the Jeeps, the full-on Wranglers. Whew. those are beautiful. Those are it's like magical cars. They're just you feel so cool and bad when you're in a Jeep. Especially the higher end one. The one I looked at had a sticker price of $57,000. So it was really nice. And you see something like that, and you see a Compass, you're like, well, the coolest factor is way on the Wrangler, and the Compass and the Patriot. There is no coolest factor to them. I just like them, but they're not cool by any means. But I don't like the Jeeps have historically had bad gas mileage. Now the new ones supposedly are not bad. So I kind of want to give them a try, but they're crazy expensive, even a used one. I mean, you can find like a 10-year-old one for probably like $11,000, but it'll have like 140,000 miles on it. Now, to me, no. I got you. I'm an older guy now. Honey. And I really appreciate a car that I can get into it and just know it's going to get me where I want to go with no problem. I like to be able to jump in my car. I live in North Carolina, but if I want to drive to Florida, then jump in my car, go to Florida, without having to worry about the car breaking down. Now you might get a flat tire, but the car should run fine. Go to Indianapolis, go through the snow, go to California, go to New York, DC, all these places. I just want to be able to jump in my car and be able to trust it fully. Now with my new car, well it's not new, but it's my latest car, with the Scion TC, I could do that. I could jump in that car and just roll. In the Jeeps, I did too. I drove those things all over the place. But the same sense as I still don't want, you know how expensive it is to fix a car. You know, it's crazy nowadays. So I would prefer a car that doesn't break down as much. So I trust the Toyota brand. So Toyota has a new RAV4 that looks kind of burly looking. You know, they're kind of buffed out, because before they were streamlined and they were kind of cutesy, but this one actually kind of looks pretty rugged. They have they call it a TRD package with actual off-road tires. It's lifted up a little bit. It looks really nice. It looks tough. It's got a 4-cylinder. It's got the same motor in mind, 2.5 liter, 4-cylinder. Supposed to get decent gas mileage. It's going to be reliable. So you know that off the bat, it's going to be reliable. It's going to have decent gas mileage. But and it's actually, I checked them out. I did a review on them too. Haven't driven one yet though. But they got plenty of room. The back area, plenty of room. So it's got kind of a cool look. 4-cylinder, Toyota reliability, cool. But I kind of wonder, you know, I do like that all-wheel drive TRD package, but how off-road worthy is it? Now I'm not going to go hardcore off-roading, but I like to go, if I could go down a trail or something, you know, nothing extreme. It's appealing, it's fun. So I was thinking these kind of things. Well, Car and Driver this month just came out. This is for the, what month is this? June of 2020. Has an article on the exact same vehicle, the RAV4 TRD off-roading. So they want to see how good it is. And they compare it. This is kind of funny to me. It's not comparing apples to apples. They're comparing it to a Jeep Wrangler Unlimited Rubicon. It's like the ultimate off-road vehicle. So it's not in the same category. One's a compact, one is a full-on hardcore off-roader, and there is. But according to this article, I'm not going to go through everything. I can probably show you some pictures. Look at this. Look at this. A couple pictures right here. So can you see that? There's a Jeep in the mud. There's your Toyota in the mud. Okay, so it did really well. It was like they were saying, legit. There's a Toyota going underwater, basically. There's a Jeep. Now the Jeep is a higher vehicle, so they didn't send the RAV in as deep water, but it was deep. It was definitely deep, and it's definitely more than I would ever do to a vehicle. They got this one. See, it's going That's the RAV pitching over going down a little steep ravine. I think it went up it too, but so they got a really good workout in the mud and dirt, mostly like kind of mudding kind of stuff and water crossing. But according to Car and Driver, the RAV is legit. It's legit. So I'm not lying. That's going to be pushing me into that. 'Cause I always liked Toyotas, you know, especially with like the Tacoma trucks. They look so cool. I remember when I was a kid watching the off-road, you know, those off-road vehicles, the trucks. They're always the trucks. They're racing and jumping and all stuff. Toyota's always dominated. So Toyotas definitely can make definitely a tough truck. So I am very curious on that RAV, and I definitely want to try one out because you never know. Maybe that'll be my next vehicle. But anyhow, that's my take. I think that is a smart choice. You know, it looks pretty good. I think with the right wheels, it would look hard. And then over top. I'm not trying to be like, I'm gonna be the toughest guy in the world. But it's gotta be kind of sporty looking, you know? Kind of sporty. Anyways, I like the RAV. I'm gonna check it out. I think you should check it out too. Let me know how it is. If you got one, you know, the newer model, not the older model. I think it just came out like last year, this new look. And I wanna say the TR, I keep forgetting the initials. TRD is the first year with that. It looks really good. So I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna definitely get a test drive eventually. So hit like, subscribe, so you can check me out in the RAV. Thanks for watching Paul's Take. That's my take on the RAV. It's legit, apparently.